Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Thumbs up, and it's a brand new day, so yes, indeed. Repeating myself, a good thing. It means we're all alive. The fact that I'm repeating myself means that we are all alive. That is proof. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, does that make fun of myself? Life has been life. I have been trying to exist, and that is a good thing. I existed yesterday, and that's good. I'm glad that I continue to exist. I'm still having minor depression issues. I'm on a downward ride that's not a fast ride, not a hard slope, but it's a biochemical, I'm just gotta enjoy the ride as it happens thing, so yay. But I am still surviving, and if you're watching this, then you are still surviving, and if you are watching this, thank you, each and every one of you that is. I'm getting fewer views and stuff like that, but for everybody that does watch, it is appreciated, each and every one of you. Definitely a thumbs up on that. But I'm just trying to do the best I can and trying to exist, trying to be as creative as possible, because it's good to stretch your mind, and it's good to think of things. It's good to just think of things. It's good to think. That's definitely a good thing right there. That's why I've been talking so much about all of this various types of creative writing stuff that I'm thinking of, settings and characters and this and that, because even as the world is burning around us, because I have so little power in this world, all I can do is try not to go mad as the world continues to burn. I do that by trying to be as creative as possible and stretch my mind as best I can as well. So that's why I spend a lot of time talking about that. Plus, I have spent most of my life, I consider myself a writer even now, even though it's so difficult to write physically. Because I started writing stories when I was very young, and then I started and continued writing to the point that I was writing for many, many, many amateur publications. And I started up an amateur publication association and did a whole bunch of writing until my alcoholism got really, really bad, and it became harder and harder to write. And then right around the year 2000, I was just unable to really write. I've had problems with my creativity because of alcoholism, grief, and all that. So it's been tough. But I still, as I say, consider myself a writer because I work on stuff in my head. I'm not a paid professional writer. I've never been published in a professional market, but I've been published, as stated, in fanzines and amateur publication associations and all that. So I'm a writer, just not a paid professional writer. So thumbs up for that. But even though I find it difficult to write, that's why I try to think of the various things in my head, which is difficult sometimes, because when I go out walking, I try to think of the various ways that I'm writing the things in my head. I would like to translate into tippy-tapping onto the keyboard a bunch of the stuff where I've been thinking about in the bone-hurting juice world, where I've tried, and then a turn of phrase doesn't work out right, and as I'm trying to figure out how to make that turn of phrase work out, of course it's a lot of mental work, and my rechargeable batteries never charge out fully, and I got the fibro fog, and sometimes everything that's going on with me physically just makes it too exhausting to be able to do that. Still though, being able to work on it in my head is a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I mean, I've been working on characters, situations, all sorts of stuff and motivations, and it's a good thing. So definitely a thumbs up on that. Haven't really thought of anything massive that's going on in that world. I mean, to a degree I have, and degree I haven't. So I'm going to talk about it in just a tiny bit. First, I want to talk about some things because I've written them down on the side there. Because last night, there was one of those gangly leg spiders in my bathroom. And I had taken it because it was down near the floor, and it was in a corner, and it had been there for days and days and days, but it was close enough that I needed to take a shower, and I wanted to move the spider. I haven't been able to take a shower yet. I'm hoping to do that today, but I moved the spider, got it into a box, and moved it into a far corner of the kitchen, because I don't like killing things anymore. And so I moved it. Last night, before I went to bed, the spider, or a spider, gangly leg spiders, I'm not going to be able to tell them apart exactly. There was another one in the bathroom. And so as I was doing stuff, because I was washing my face and scrubbing my hair, because I said I can't shower, daily, but I still do, it's not sponge bathing because it's washcloths, but it still hit the trouble spots, get my hair, all the various odor-causing spots on the human body. I can't shower, but I can still wash. But I was doing that, and then behind me in the mirror, I see the spider go whoop, middle of the room, instead of the shower stall where it had been, right up onto the ceiling. So I'm just about done, so I wander over and I take a look up at the spider, and she had been moving around, but when I came over to look at her, she stopped. And then when I was just looking at her, I went, really? Because I'm very dramatic at times like that. I mean, I drama queen, except of course, I do identify as male, so drama king. I've been very dramatic like that my whole life, so I don't just say really, it's really. But as I went really at the spider, not very loud, not even hard enough to really blow and cause a bunch of air disturbance, the vibration of my voice in the air, she took her two front legs on each side and just boom, tossed them into the air, threatening, aggressive, make herself larger so she's more frightening. And it was just, ah. Even though she was trying to terrify me because she was seeing me as a threat, it was so cute. So I just tidied up the stuff that I was doing, finished up, got done, and then left her to her defensive posture. And then this morning, first thing when I saw, spider still down there in the shower stall. But then when I went back down just before recording, because I had to get some stuff done and couldn't find her anywhere. So she's down there somewhere. She's moving around, quite an extensive web, it would seem. So thumbs up. Anyway, that's the story. Oh, now let's see. I cannot remember what I was going to say. I think it was... Yes, I actually do remember. You see, this is the nice part about the ADHD meds. Before, that would have been gone forever. Now, it's stated I have to cut through a forest of bamboo with a machete, and it's a lot of work. I'm sweating, and it's hard, and my muscles are hurting, but I'm making progress through the bamboo forest, whereas for 58 years, I've been stuck outside of it. I am remembering that I had wanted to talk about some of the stuff happening in the bone-hurting juice world, where I had decided, because creative talk here again, the human society with their monoculture and assimilation is in kind of a desperate point. One of the reasons that they're trying to colonize and reach out over the ocean to the other continent is they're kind of stuck. As an assimilation culture, it is still important that they continue to grow. They need room. They need more. And so they are trying to expand, but on that part of the continent, they're kind of stuck in a hard place because there's ocean, there's some mountain areas, and then the only real area that they have to extend outward, there is another race. Now, I'm not sure what this other race is like fully, except that the mass assimilation culture, the monoculture, the assimilation masters, it's failing entirely against this race. They don't care about a lot of stuff. The monoculture is trying to trade, just trying to get in, trying to assimilate. but not really getting very far because they don't want to trade ideas. They don't want to trade technology. They don't want to trade, any of this other stuff. They'll trade for, decorative stuff, makeup, cloth, stuff like that. And diplomatic missions are rough, and they've been honed down to very small teams because they've discovered that you can only push so far and so hard, because this culture that they're trying to do something with that's in the way. They need to colonize outward, they need to grow, but the only real way that they can go is there's these other people, and if you push, they just gather up all of the particular part of a team on that. So it's a 5-person team, then they gather up all the 5 people. If it's a 3-person team, they gather up the 3 people, and this is why they figured out small teams are better. You push, and sometimes one question can be too hard of a push, and sometimes you can push really hard before you push too hard. But they just gather everybody up, slaughter them, and then dump the corpses outside the gate of the city there, leaving them for the animals to just drag off and do what they will, and then they continue doing what they were doing before they got pushed. And that is the only pushback they do. In fact, you can bring in another diplomatic team to come in and immediately start talking again, and they fully accept whoever comes in, and they start over from the beginning with them. And you're fine until you find the area you shouldn't push, at which point everyone gets slaughtered, corpses dumped outside the gate. So they're having a lot of trouble trying to deal with these people in this culture, because they're not a simple, uneducated, ignorant sort of culture or people. They do have technology, they do have knowledge, they're very smart, but they don't care. They're quite happy being by themselves. They do not want to trade land. They do not want any colonists. They do not want you to ask too many questions. They don't want this from you. And if you push, well, you can either go pick up the corpses as you will, or just let the animals get them. So they're kind of desperate. They need to push outward, but they kind of can't in that direction. And so they're trying to expand, and one of the reasons that they did go over to the other continent, and they're trying to figure out, can we even do this at a distance, is because of that. They need new stuff, they need to grow, and they can't right now. So they're kind of desperate. And so that's what I've been working on with that, because once again, I just like to set my teeth into a situation and chew on it to figure out what works, what doesn't, and just how the world comes together. And that's a very, very good thing. One of the things I had talked about yesterday, really, really quick, was all of the accents of the various people. You know how Scarbat and his people, they got a touch of the plains in their voices, no matter what. And then, of course, there's the people that, the fungal elves. There's just a section of their brain that's ticked, that's just their accent. And then, of course, Ilchinka and her types, that's how they sound with the magical plague. One of the things I've been trying to work on is an acceptable accent for the humans that they'll talk with. I don't want just a boring, flat monoculture, no one has any real accents to their voice speech, but at the same time, I'm not sure what to do. I do kind of like the idea of, it's really bad right now, my accent, but trying to think of maybe they got an accent like this. That's a possibility, and I'll have to think on that one. So whatever it comes up with though, very good idea. Thumbs up on that. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people, I haven't had even 20 for a very long time, that have left comments. Thank you for having left a comment. It is appreciated. I'm count up to 25 because my depression and fibro and how much I can't remember and such like that. And if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I do my very, very best. So thumbs up on that. And like I said, I try to remember, but with my fibromyalgia and at least mostly treated ADHD, grief, and all sorts of things, it's hard, but I try. So we have, this is Jikookiest, J-I, and then Kookiest, thumbs up and thank you. Oswaldo, greatly appreciated. Sow's Ear Soup, heck of a name, and thumbs up. I don't know how to pronounce it. S-A-T-S-U-J-I-N, thumbs up and thank you. And Johnny K, greatly appreciated, and I'll have to try and talk about that tomorrow. Good idea, thank you. We have Big Ol' Worm, thumbs up and thank you. With Melissa Martinez, thumbs up. Haley Gamer, greatly appreciated. We have Doomer Ideology, like the name, and thank you very much. We have Josh Cook, greatly appreciated. Ollie B, thumbs up and thank you. Gamezilla with a 3 instead of an E, greatly appreciated. Favel, always good to see you in the comments. We have TTV Lil Curry, thumbs up. And that is it. 14 people who left comments in the last 24 hours. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you, whether you left a comment or not. If you watched, thumbs up and thank you. But if you left a comment, greatly appreciated. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. And that's definitely a thumbs up. And while my hands are in the air, if you could check out my various links down below. I do have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com, and I'm about to start up a new GoFundMe because holy smokes. But if you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. These people are the reason I have a roof over my head, food in my belly, and my pets are taken care of. Thank you all so very, very much. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I have a PayPal link down below if you'd like to help me out, and I'm kind of desperate. It would be appreciated. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, I do have a PayPal link with things like cat food on it. So if you could check it out, that would be very, very awesome. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be definitely appreciated. A definite thumbs up 100%. Well, hokey smokes, I got a lot to do today. I mean, I need to do a lot of recording. I got reactions to record. I've got a game video I want to record. I've been actually thinking on some creative / disturbing stuff I need to record, and I need to make phone calls. So I need to get stuff done. Just don't know when it's going to happen. Hey, I'm a human being on top of everything else. Thumbs up for that. Oh, hokey smokes. Oh, my tummy. I took some medications with a big old couple swallows. Doesn't even make sense. A couple big old swallows, there we go, of carbonated beverage to wash down some medications. So now the gas wants out. Oh joy. But the covfefe bug is still raging around the world. No matter what you may think about it, the experts agree this thing is not good. Sure, it's survivable, largely, if you're in the right groups, if you've got a good immune system, if you're vaccinated. But even at that, it's got lifelong complications, and those aren't worth it. So please, get vaxxed if you can. Wear a mask in public. Maintain your social distancing. Wash your hands as often as you can, especially if you're outside of your home. Sanitize if you need. And what did I already say? The try not to touch your face one? But still, we can get through this. It's not political. It doesn't care what your political views are. It doesn't care if you're left or right or center. It only wants to spread. And if you die as it spreads, that's life. So please be careful. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is, quite frankly, a very good thing.